Thank you very much, and I'm very happy to have caught as much as I have of the conversation. I'm so sorry that I missed your presentation, because in your summary you pulled out some things which may have sounded to some of the staff here as sounding like me talking, because from the day I walked into this organization, I've been talking about building institutional capacity, because this is the key for sustainability. And of course, the governance of trade cannot happen without institutions that can serve the private sector. So I think this is a very, very key message. I want to just make a few comments, and I know my role was only to say thank you, but I have been sitting and stimulated by the conversation, so allow me if you would. In one of the things that was I found remarkable about the Arab Spring was the face of women in this revolution, so to speak. Women taking a very prominent role in coming forward, standing right on the front line of what was pushing back from government in the beginning. And I think that clearly when you look at what we see, we are seeing that there is this massive opportunity of people who feel that they have something to contribute and have not had the ability to contribute, and now seeking for their space in being able to contribute. So whether it's women, whether it's the youth, whomever it is, those who have felt that they have been shut out by those who have kept the economies closed, and who have kept them to the few who could take the spoils off of the economy. I think that this is a massive opportunity to realize the potential of the people of the region. And it reminds me very much, because of course I'm a child of Latin America and the Caribbean. And I tell you that in listening to you, I thought about the Latin America and Caribbean of the 60s and 70s into the 80s. And there is much to learn from what happened there as the totalitarian regimes dropped one by one, again losing their support from North America and from Europe. And we see today where some of the so-called revolutionaries of the 60s and 70s are actually coming back into power now. Why? Why? Because democracy has not delivered to those at the bottom what it actually said it was going to deliver. So there is another message here, and it comes back, I think, to this business of institutions and inequality. Looking at the Latin America picture, it's one of the indigenous people who still remain oppressed and who have not had access. And in all of this going forward, if the institutions are not built to deliver to the oppressed, we will see 30 years from now, perhaps democracy, but we will see a revitalization of the revolution, because we need to ensure that we deliver. So that's my personal comment on coming from what I hear. But for ITC, I take away from it, again, this notion that trade is an important leverage to release this opportunity and to release the potential. And it is about ensuring that we can get to the small and medium-sized enterprises, that we can get to those communities that can release the potential, to release the innovation, and to find mechanisms to transform that into real economic potential, which builds equality, which remains inclusive. And I think that this is where we need to go. And as an institution, we need to listen. And so I agree with the ideas about making sure that the mechanisms that we have don't just keep the same old people at the table. And of course, it's much easier when you're going to have a meeting to make sure that you call on the same old friends that you've had in the past. But the same old friends in the past, we've been dealing with them for 30 years, as you say, and we have seen no transformation. Therefore, we have to do what's a little bit more difficult. Because, of course, we are functioning in a very limited time where we have to be able to demonstrate impact. But what is impact? And I also recall saying to one of the things that I faced when I first came to ITC, all of these certificates to sign. And I said, I'm not signing any more of these certificates unless these people take exams and I can be sure that they didn't just attend an event that we paid them to attend, but that they actually learned something. So if you want to give them a certificate of attendance, no signature from me, please. I want to see that they have actually passed an exam and learned something before I sign. So it is a long struggle to build capacities. It doesn't happen overnight. And it never happens unless the country wants it to happen. And the systems and structures are in place. And the political system is behind it. So we can spend the money, but we will never have impact unless there is the political will of the people. So it's about partnership, and it is about the political will to make it happen. And I think that I'm very excited by the opportunities that could come our way. And in our small way, of course, we will continue to focus mainly on LDCs, yes, because those are the people who need it most. Those are the people who have the least institutions and the most building to be done. But at the same time, we seek partnerships outside of that to continue to move the organization forward and to see the countries actually benefit at the end of the day. So I want to thank all of you for being here today. I certainly want to thank those of you who have contributed to the scrumptious tidbits that I saw at the back of the room, which we're going to invite you all to participate in. Certainly want to thank the Office of Arab States for this initiative, and want to thank everyone who contributed in any way, to small and large, and certainly to our speakers who stimulated the conversation today. Thank you very much, and please join us in the back of the room.